Okay, we're recording. So, Alicia is so amazing to agree to be on this call when she's got such an early morning wake up call, and just amazing in general. So, this is the Team on the Run call for the January 23rd, and we have our featured guest speaker, Alicia Iannettoni, and she is someone who I consider not only a colleague, but also a role model and a friend. Because she's a role model. Like, ladies, this woman has taken this business by storm. She is a 2-star diamond, and I should look because you told me earlier, but you may have to correct me. I know she has hit Success Club 10 for 36 months consecutively, which is insane to me, because I have never even hit it for a year consecutively, to be honest with you. And how many months of Success Club in general? 40 something?
42.
42. That's amazing to me. And she was a premier coach last year. And are you a master trainer?
I will officially be after my first event in a couple weeks.
Okay. So she's also a master trainer. She's just unbelievable. She leads a team of amazing women, and she has an incredible transformation and is kicking butt in her business. And she has so many great things to share with us today. So I'm going to turn it over to her because I'm probably not giving her even the proper accolades, but I just have nothing but positives to say about Alicia. I just look up to her so much. So.
Thank you, Jess. You gave me goosebumps.
Well, thank you for agreeing to be with us tonight.
Well, my team is still raving about the call that you did for us and how it was life-changing for them in their business. So I appreciate you too. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen if that's okay. Okay, let me pull this up. Can you guys see this? Can you see my slideshow okay? Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you today about living and breathing the 4 vital behaviors, expanding your market, and how to nail your social media presence. And I'm just going to start by telling a little bit about my story. I started the business in August of 2013. Now, so going back, just a little bit about me personally. I was never like super thin or tiny growing up. I always was a little bit of a bigger girl, even though I was really active in sports and activities and stuff. So I entered college and I gained about 40 pounds over the 4 years that I was in college. And I'm very, very short. I'm only 4'9". So 40 pounds on me, I was like an Oompa Loompa. I was like as round as I was tall. So before I went into my year of my master's degree, which was directly after my bachelor's program, I started working out at the gym and not at the gym, at home with Turbo Jam. Turbo Jam was my first program, and it was just an infomercial purchase that I bought, and I started doing it, and not consistently, but it was enough that with Weight Watchers and the little bit of Turbo Jam I did, I lost about 20 pounds. So I certainly wasn't back where I was in high school, but I honestly thought I'll never be back to where I was in high school, so I better be happy with the 20 pounds I lost and go with it. And then I quickly met my husband, eHarmony. We were an internet dating success story 10 years ago, and we quickly, fell in love, and in relationships, you start to put on weight too. So we got married about 2 years after we started dating, and I went off the pill thinking it was going to take me a long time to get pregnant, and surprise, I was 15 weeks pregnant when I found out I was pregnant with my first baby. So I thought I was just happy getting fat, marriage, and in actuality, I had like a big baby in my belly, and there she is now, because she refuses to sleep. So she's got a field trip tomorrow. She's really excited. So I thought I was, just getting fat, and I was pregnant. So I had baby number 1, and I put on about 30 30 to 35 pounds with that pregnancy. And when she was about 18 months, we moved across the country, leaving everything we knew, family. I mean, I had grown up in Syracuse, New York. I went to college at Syracuse University. I went to graduate school at Syracuse University. So I had never gone more than 10 minutes from home. And my husband took a job down here in Texas. And it was really, really hard at first. And looking back now, it was probably the biggest blessing that could have happened to our family. But at the time, I was in bad shape. And about a year and a half prior to that, right after I had Ari, I'd gone through an instance where she had stopped breathing. And God, every time I talk about it, it was, she had reflux. And long story short, she stopped breathing and we had to go by ambulance to the hospital, and we spent 3 days there. And she was okay. She just, she was diagnosed with reflux after a bunch of tests and everything, but I was not. I was real bad. I went into a real bad depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress I was diagnosed with. I saw a therapist. I was put on massive depression medication. So when we moved, all of that kind of started coming back, and I was feeling really alone and depressed. And then I got pregnant with baby number 2. And so then it all just kind of piled up, and I still hadn't lost all the weight from baby number 1. And I was pregnant again, and I was living across the country, and I put on another 30 or 35 pounds with that pregnancy. And so the day I delivered Lexi, my youngest, I was 166 pounds, which for some people you would think that's not a lot. But again, I'm 4'9". So, I mean, I was considered severely morbidly obese. Granted, I was pregnant, so I mean, there's that. But I was by far the biggest I'd ever been, and very, very uncomfortable. So I had Lexi, and I had been already teaching Zumba in the gym here in Texas. I had started teaching right before I got married in New York. And so I started taking classes again after I had Lexi, just to build my stamina. And I met my coach at the gym, and it's funny because she was the third person to proposition the business to me. The first one was Christine Dwyer. I don't know if, I'm sure you guys have heard that name before, but Christine Dwyer actually introduced me to Beachbody. When I was looking to move to Texas, I wanted to get Turbo Kick certified, and she kind of talked about the business a little bit. And she didn't form me at all, if you guys know what that means, building that relationship. It was just like, here, watch this video. You're interested in Turbo Kick? You should be a coach on my team. Watch this video. And she sent me a video, and that was it. That was the entire encounter with it. And I was like, wow, who is this person, and why is she sending me this weird video? I'm not interested in this. So after I moved to Texas, I got Turbo Kick certified, and Melissa McAllister was my master trainer for Turbo Kick. And she brought up the coaching opportunity as well, not as directly as Christine had, but she had talked about it, and I was like, here's that thing that everyone's talking about again. And again, I still wasn't familiar with it at any point, very much at that point. So when my coach at the gym, Amy, brought it up, I was like, I'm hearing about this more and more around here. It was much more prevalent here down in Texas than I felt it had been up in upstate New York. So when she started talking about it here, I had other people that were talking about it here that I'd worked with at the gym. So I was a little bit more familiar with it. So she's like, I'd like you to join and try this Focus T25 program. It was just coming out, and I just had the baby, and I thought, you know what? I think I could do that because 25 minutes is perfect. I can work out at home. I can build my stamina back up before I teach back at the gym. And my husband was like, no, we don't have money for this. It was like, it was on sale for $180 at that time. But we don't have money for this. We had a new baby, one income. I was not working at all. We don't have money for this. He actually insisted we can make Shakeology better on our own at home. So we started looking up the ingredients, and he's like, no, we're just going to find something at GNC. So he said, we'll do the program together. We can do the program together, but I'm not buying into the Shakeology stuff for you. And I was like, okay, well, we'll try it and see what happens. And literally a week into T25, I said to him, I think I want to be a coach. And he was like, oh, no, no, no. Like, we are not getting caught up in any sort of pyramid scheme. Like, you're not giving your social security number to some devil. Like, this isn't going to happen. And it's funny because anyone who knows my husband, he's like the most easygoing, like, whatever you want to do kind of guy. And so for him to be so passionately against it, I was like, okay, I guess like he doesn't get real worked up about much. So if he's getting worked up, like I'm just going to take a step back. And then after the first 5 weeks of the program, I had lost 8 pounds and I was like, okay, like I feel good. Like life is good, man. And I shared my before and after photos and people were like, oh, what are you doing to lose this weight? And I said to him again, are you sure we can't try this? Like, I think maybe I really could do something with this. Like, I really think I could do something good with this. And if nothing else, I could save some money on my Shakeology. And he was like, nope, still not into it. Still not buying it. So another week went by and I only had a couple weeks left of the program. And at this point, I'm physically transforming a lot. And I said, I really want to do this. I want your support on it. I'd like you to give me 6 months and just see what happens. I'm not asking you to invest any money in it. I have money from my birthday. I would like to do it though. And he was like, all right, whatever. You do whatever you want. I'm just telling you, I'm not like bailing you out of jail when you're caught up in some illegal scheme. So I became a coach and my business really took off when I started sharing my Focus T25 results. I ended up losing 16 pounds, but 25 inches from my body. So I had an incredible physical transformation with the T25 and literally I was intending on being a discount coach with maybe like shaving a little money off my Shakeology costs. I had no intentions of building a business, none, not one, not in any form. And people just came to me and literally the first week I was a coach, I'd hit Success Club and I didn't even know what that meant, but my coach was like, you hit Success Club! And I was like, awesome. Do I get like a bigger discount now? I didn't know it. I had no idea what was going on. So at that point I was like, cool. She's like, you should run a challenge group. And I'm like, what? I got to do something with these people now? Like people bought from me and I got to do something with them? I was like, oh shit, that's a lot of pressure. So I ran with it. And I'm a teacher in my former life. I was an elementary school teacher. So that leadership has kind of always been in me. So I said, okay, I guess can't let these people down. They're trusting me to do something with them. So I started my first challenge group. And then I started a second challenge group. And then I started a third challenge group. And honestly, probably for the first 6 months, the only challenge group I ran was Focus T25 because it was the only program I knew. I was having great results. My people were having great results. And that was that. So I became a success starter. Again, didn't really know what that meant, but I had hit Success Club the first 3 months of my business. And I earned my free ticket to Summit. And that's when I was like, Vegas? I'm a new mom. I got 2 kids. I'm going to Vegas? I get a free ticket to Vegas. Sign me up. Done. Perfect. And that was literally what got me to Summit the first year. And my husband still wasn't much of a believer, but then he started seeing I was bringing in these checks and they weren't like substantial, but they were enough that like I could fill gas in my car without asking him for money for it. Or I could go out for a night with my friends and not be like, hey, can you put some money in my account? Or, I'm going to charge some money on the credit card because I had nothing coming in at this point. I still wasn't back to teaching at the gym. So long story short, that's when my business took off. And it was really when I'd earned my Success Starters ticket that I was like, oh, okay, like this is legit. I can get down with this. This is cool. I'm ready for this. And I really started to make it a goal. And it was, I'd started in August. So by December, I was like, I really think I'm going to set some goals. And come that January 2014, Amanda Dewey had invited me to a diamond mine training. And it was her first like big collaboration with other coaches where we did this push to diamond group.
I was in there with you.
Yeah. And that was probably the best
awesome.
thing for my business. It was a really great training. It was exactly what I needed when I needed it in my business. And it was cutthroat. It was like, if you don't do this, you're out. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you're not ready to commit, we're going to boot you. And that's the kind of atmosphere that I thrive best under. So I was like, well, I'm not getting kicked out. I'm not getting kicked out. I'm going to stay in this group. So that group was what really pushed me to hit diamond. And I hit diamond 3 months later. And then my husband also started taking more notice of it, and he started, helping me out at home a little bit more so I can invest a little bit more time in it. So here I am, 2017, and going into rounding my third full year as a coach. Ending my third full year, entering my fourth year as a coach. I've lost a total of about 50 pounds, and that's like after baby about 50 pounds. Success Club 10 All-Star Legend, 36 months, 42 months in Success Club. I have not missed Success Club since I started as a coach. I was, like she said, a 2015 Premier Coach, Lifetime 2-star. I am a fitness instructor. I teach PIO Live, I teach Size Live, Insanity Live, and my own boot camp. And I am the group fitness coordinator at my gym. And like she said, I am finishing the stages of Master Trainer Ambassador program. So in a couple of weeks when I host my first event, I can officially put the title of Master Trainer on. So that's just a little bit about my story and how I got. Oh, and I was the Beachbody Challenge winner as well. So if you guys aren't entering your results in that Beachbody Challenge, please do so, because I entered it probably 4 times before I actually won it. And one of my coaches has won it twice. So not
You win
only
like $500.
I won 500, Alex won 500, and then she won 1,000. And because she won the 1,000, I won 500. So
Amazing.
So she's won 1,500, and I've won 1,000 with it. So that was pretty cool. That's pretty cool to open up your coach online office, and you're opening up the Team Beachbody page, and there's your picture. I'm like, oh wait, I'm in my skivvies for the whole world to see. Humbling, to say the least. So that's just a little bit about my story and how I got to where I am here today. And this is Ari, and she's a big part of it. She doesn't feel good, so she doesn't want to sleep. All right, so now we're going to get into why I'm really here. So here we go. So today I wanted to talk to you about the 4 vital behaviors and really living them and living them in your daily life. So I am obviously a stay-at-home mom, but my job at the gym, I teach 6 classes a week, and then I have additional duties that I have to do as the coordinator. So my time is kind of crazy. I also volunteer at my daughter's school every week. And so I don't work a full-time job, but my time is crazy just like everyone else. So these are the top 5 points that I wanted to point out in regards to the vital behaviors. Organizational systems work. Now, I will tell you that I've tried them all because I have. I started off with the organizational system of going through my Facebook Messenger to keep track of people. And I probably did that for way too long before I finally was like, this isn't working. Like people were falling through the cracks. So then I decided to do Evernote. Evernote is similar to like can you just do that right there for me? Can you color right there for me? Thank you. And then you can come back. Okay, so Evernote is similar to like an Excel, but all the numbers in Excel like get me nervous. So it was much simpler for me. It was very cut and dry. I could make tables, and I liked the fact that it would sync to my phone and my computer. So Evernote worked for me for a long time, and it got to the point where I was color coding it. If someone purchased from me, that person on the list was red. If they were someone that was like, stop contacting me forever, never talk to me again, I'm blocking you, because that's happened, they became blue. If it was someone that I knew I had to follow up with, they became green. And that was how I organized my system. And then it became to the point where it was like really long, like scrolling and looking for a color. And that just didn't work anymore. So then I started a new list, but then I realized that the people were overlapping on the list, and it just became like a hot mess. So then I decided I was going to try something else. I was going to try Excel, because then I could search things, but that just didn't work for me. So then I tried a notebook, handwriting it. I have like a 2-year-old handwriting. Like I can't even read my own writing. Don't laugh at that. So I literally was like, wait, I can't read what I wrote. So I was like, I probably should go back to something electronic. So then I went back to Evernote and then decided that wasn't working anymore. So then I finally have found something that I'm enjoying now. Hop down for a minute so I can show. I have found that although I have handwriting of a 2-year-old, I'm trying to really do better about writing neatly, but I found a system that works for me, and that's my Erin Condren planner. And basically I have my, honey, come on, my month where I plan out all of my challenge groups and everything. And then in my daily slots, I have, so that was today. That's everyone that I've messaged. And then I have a place in the back that I keep notes on each person as well. And so for me, it's easier for me to look back every single day and write at the end of the day who I need to follow up with, what they're looking at, what I need to talk to them about. So for me, that's working really well right now. It'll probably change again because that's how I operate. But finding an organizational system that works for you. I tried Teamsy. I love the idea. It's way too flashy for me. It makes me nervous, makes me like real nervous. I need like very simple black and white in front of me, and the popping up and the things on the side and underneath and the numbers made me like start to panic. So Teamsy didn't work for me. But finding what works for you, a system that works for you, not only keeping track of your prospects, but setting up systems for getting your new coaches started right, organizing your team calls or topics that you need to discuss. Having systems for everything in place and in a way that you can navigate it easily is going to make your life so much easier in this business. I have a folder for everything on my computer, everything, every challenge group that I've ever run, all of the photos, the posts, all of my coach trainings that I've ever done. I've just keep tweaking them and resaving them as something new. So my entire Beachbody business lives on my Mac computer. And if it weren't for that, I would truly be lost. That reminds me, I should probably back it up. God forbid anything ever happens to that. Finding your pockets of time. Tuesdays and Thursdays are my 2 days that my girls are both at school for the entire day. Drop the oldest off at 7:30, the youngest goes before her, and I pick the oldest up at 3, and then I get the youngest after. So from about 8 to 3, I am free. I don't teach any classes during that time, and I work. My butt sits in my chair at my desk, and I am literally working from 8 until 3. Those are my 2 really important work days. I schedule all of my calls for those days. So on Tuesdays, I have 4 calls. So while 8 to 3 sounds like a really long day, I have 4-hour-long calls on those days. So they're with success partners. One's a master trainer call. One's my team call. So there's something going on a lot on Tuesdays, but I try to really set up all of my stuff so that anything that needs to be done weekly, I either do on Tuesday, every single Tuesday, and then Thursday, every single Thursday. My shout outs obviously get done on Thursday. I send out a weekly newsletter that happens on Thursday. I do coach of the week that happens on Thursday. So for me, I know that I have 2 solid days that I can sit down and I can knock out several power hours throughout my day. Every other day of the week, this is my life. I have kids sitting on me. I have dogs jumping on me. Finding my pockets of time during the day are few and far between. So I need to make sure that I am making the most of all of those times. So I have a very, I'm not going to say strict schedule, but I try to keep a pretty normal schedule as far as like I get up at 4:15 every day, whether I'm teaching or I'm not, and I get my workout in and I get organized for my day. I make sure my challenge group is set for that morning. It's very rare that 6 o'clock comes in the morning and my challenge group post isn't up because I don't automate it. I do it the day of, or sometimes I'll automate it the night before, but I don't automate the entire group. So it's very rare that 6 o'clock comes and my first post of the day isn't ready to go. My first like page post isn't ready to go. My challenge group is all set. My workout isn't done. So that's really what has set my days up really, really well. And finding the time throughout the day where I can say, okay, girls, this is mommy and your time. We're going to take this time. And I know Jess is really great about this too. This is my children bucket time. I am spending the next 2 hours focusing on my kids, you know, and I try really, really hard to not get caught up on my phone or something like that when I'm with them, so that, you know, I'm getting quality time with them. And then I can say to them without them getting, you know, like, oh, I need to go do an hour of work. Can you guys go play for a little bit? Or do you want to do Play-Doh at the table while mommy answers the messages? So it's really finding that time throughout the day and being present in the time that you are. I'm far from perfect on this, but I try really, really hard to really time block and giving my priorities to that time block that I've planned. Your body is your business. Sorry, I'm talking a lot. I'm trying to go fast. Your body is your business. Had it not been for my huge physical transformation, would I be as successful as I am? I don't know, but it certainly has helped. And I'm not saying it has to be an outward physical transformation. I have people on my team who don't have a lot of weight to lose, but they still have incredible transformation. So not just saying, you know, you're outside of your body or your physical transformation is all it can be, but just sharing how this business, these products, this company has changed you both internally and externally, and sharing that. And we'll talk a little bit about social media in a minute, but sharing that authentically. Personal development is what gets you over the slumps. Okay, so I was that person that thought I don't need personal development. I'm good. I'm cool. Like, I'm confident. I'm fine with myself. I'm getting down with my bad self. I don't need a book to tell me how cool I am. And then we started doing it. Honestly, I started doing personal development religiously when I joined Amanda's Rockstar VIP group. And it was probably 1.5 or 2 years ago, maybe. And we did book clubs every month. And we were expected to show up and participate. And the books that were chosen were really, really good. And I started falling in love with personal development. And I've always been a reader. I love reading. But reading, sitting down and finding the time to read wasn't always realistic. So my Audible list is like 6 pages long. I love to listen. I listen when I walk my dog. I listen when I do laundry. I listen when I wash the dishes. I listen when I'm prepping dinner. Whenever I have a free moment that I don't think the child's gonna be like, Mom, I'm listening. And sometimes when they are screaming, Mom, I'm listening, just so I can get quiet. Okay. Every time I do a call, they're up. Every time they sleep every other night, but every time I do a call, they're up. It's okay. So, quick story about that. Last year, I had a really, really, really bad year. Physically, I went through some crazy medical stuff. You can be allergic to your period, in case you were wondering. That's a thing. Took me 8 months to find it out, but you can be. So long story short, I had like a really horrible year physically. And honestly, if it weren't for personal development, I don't know if I would have had it in me to come back from all of that. I've put on a lot of weight because I was on steroids for 8 months, and just being able to come back from that, both where you're taking time away from your business and from, you know, your own just, okay, Ari, I need you. I love you. I need you for the next 15 minutes to just be right here. Okay? You can sit on the couch. You can draw me a picture. You can't sit in my lap because I can't focus. Okay? 15 minutes. You were supposed to be in bed an hour ago. So personal development is honestly what got me over the hump of that, and being able to come back and say, I am stronger than this. I can beat this. And I am going to get back to where I was and further ahead from that. Recognition, a kind word of recognition goes a long way. And this is something I truly feel like in my heart of hearts, like everyone's got their good things about them. I really, really, really try hard to make the people that I'm working with, as far as challengers and my coaches, feel like they are part of something bigger than themselves. And I recently took a branding quiz. I'm doing Jesse Reagan's social media training. Have you done it, Jess?
I was going to message you about it actually. I have signed up and failed epically at keeping up with it. So I'm going to restart this month if you want to help hold me to it.
I will. There's a few
Okay.
of us. Jenny Trumpa is doing
Yep.
that. Is doing
And
it too.
Mandy Miller, I don't know if she's on this call. She's on my team. And Bridget is going to redo it with me. So
I will tell you that I started because I kind of let my like page like flop. I
me too.
no engagement on it. So since I started this on Friday, my engagement has gone up 5,000. You know how it says like, your post reach is like 3,000, 5,000. It's gone up 5,000 from where it had been since Friday, just from the tips that I've gotten from him. So I don't know why I went there. Oh, Jesse Reagan, the training, they talk a lot about how the personality quiz that I had taken says, you make people feel a part of your community. And I feel like that really nails how I've built my team to how, the people that they are now. They are me in a different body. And I feel like when you're recognizing people and just supporting them along the way and making them feel as if they belong, they're in it for the long haul with you. So never underestimate that recognition, because it's one of those things like the Slight Edge talks about. It's so easy to do, but it's so easy not to do. So just, I had a coach today that she's a new coach. She's way far down in my downline. Don't know her couldn't pick her out on the street, but her social media presence is on point, and she's a brand new coach and she's doing amazing. So, I just commented on the page today, hey, just want to, you guys check out Christy's page. She's doing amazing. Her social media is awesome. Go check out what she's doing. And she was like, I thought my social media was horrible. This is just what I needed to hear today. And that might be the one thing that it takes for her to decide, I can do this business or I can just be a discount coach. And so never let that thought of recognition go unnoticed. And I know Jess is really, really, really good at that. Very good at that. Okay, so expanding your market. One of the ways, or one of the reasons I would say that I've hit Success Club every single month is because I've constantly expanding my market. I run a lot of free groups. And honestly, probably for the first year of my business, I ran more free groups than I ran paid challenge groups. And they were long. They were like 30 or 60 days of push-ups and sit-ups and crunch challenges. And I mean, you name it, I've done it. And they were long and they were tedious. But those people from 3.5 years ago are still paid customers of mine today. Those relationships and the trust that was built in those free groups, giving something without expecting anything. Well, I mean, I obviously was expecting to like build relationships and stuff, but I never anticipated that 3.5 years later, they would still be paid customers right now. Okay. So those free groups are truly, truly like thebomb.com when it comes to expanding your market. And you may think that they're flopping because a lot of people don't comment, but what you need to do is really step outside the box and do something different. I've done Hot Mess Express groups. I've done 5-day mommy makeover groups, just where we talk about, taking 5 minutes to do your hair in the morning and the power of putting on makeup and things that have absolutely nothing to do with fitness, but they're making people feel good and knowing that someone is caring about them in a way that they're investing their time into them. Right now, I'm doing a 5-day at-home fitness group, and I'm showing them 4 exercises a day, like based on body muscle groups. 2 exercises for the chest, 2 exercises for the back today. And I'm just going live and doing it. And it's going awesome. I have about 20 people in there. Most of them are new. And, there are people who say, oh, I want to take a class with you at the gym, but I live too far away. And this is a perfect opportunity for me to break down. I literally took one class that I teach and I broke it down in over 5 days. And I said, at the end of this 5 days, you're going to have a full workout that you can do at home with nothing. So just finding different free groups rather than the 5-day crockpot group that we see all the time, or the 5-day healthy clean eating, or the same stuff that we see from all of the coaches all the time on our social media. Find something that speaks to you, something, one of your pillars, as they call it, that is true to you in your heart, and share that and give it freely without expectation of anything coming in return other than you're giving something from your heart. Interest groups on Facebook. Okay, so I love to travel. And over the last year, last January and this January, I went on cruises, both Januaries. Last year was a Disney cruise, and this year was a Carnival cruise. And these cruise groups all have Facebook groups. Didn't know that. My mom's a crazy cruiser and knew about it like a long time ago. So for the Disney cruise, there was like 500 people in the Disney cruise Facebook group. So I went in there and I posted, I'm so excited to cruise with you guys. Just wondering if anyone is interested in getting their bikini bodies, or, bathing suit bodies ready for our trip in January. It's always hard to, step into a bathing suit midwinter. And I had 4 challenge pack sales from it, 2 coaches from it. And same thing with this cruise. I haven't had anyone buy yet, but I have conversations going with several people that I've built relationships with from that group. So finding interest groups and just engaging in them. Again, adding value without anticipation of anything in return. Now, don't get me wrong when I say nothing in return. Obviously, our goal is to build businesses. But in addition to that, you're also making really good friends. So I've met people in those groups that have never bought anything from me, but they're really cool people, and I like hanging out with them on social media and stuff like that. So just giving something without the thought that I'm going to get a challenge pack sale in return, or there's 2 points for me. You have to give from your heart in order for this business to give back to you. Family connections. My daughter is in preschool. My other daughter is in kindergarten. 2 different schools. They're both in gymnastics. And I have met so many people and put myself out there for so many different experiences within those arenas. I've offered to do fit clubs at my daughter's preschool. I did career day at my daughter's kindergarten class, and a bunch of the teachers came, and I shared the 21-day fix containers and how I implement them in my life. And I've had 3 people contact me from that, just from seeing the containers and my explanation of it at career day. Now, I will tell you that probably 90% of my business, if not more, comes from the gym. And I realized that not everyone has that ability to tap into that market, but fit clubs are just as good. Now, how do I get people from the gym? So we aren't really allowed to talk about Beachbody, so to speak, at the gym, because they don't want us taking business from them. But I do have every single person connect with me on social media that leaves my class. I give out slips of paper with my Facebook email on it with a fit tip of the week to everyone that comes in. That way they're leaving the gym and they've got a new tip from me every week, and it has my Facebook handle right on it. And then that way they're logging onto Facebook. I add them into my Fit 2K Fit Posse, Alicia's Fit 2K Fit Posse. And so now I have hundreds of people in that group, from people who have maybe taken 1 class at the gym, because we all know that people are not consistent in what they're doing when they don't have support. So everyone comes for the next quick fix. They join my gym. It's $8 a month. My gym is $8 a month. So they join my gym for $8 a month, and they maybe come to a class or 2, or they come for a month, and then they're on to the next thing that's a quick fix. And I've already established a relationship with them, because on that Fit Tips page, or the Fit 2K Posse, I'm posting tips. I'm posting clips of what I'm doing at the next class. I have given them value, and I've gained their trust. So when they're looking for the next quick fix because the gym didn't work because they had no one holding them accountable, they come to me and then they stay with me. So a lot of my business comes from the gym.
Alicia, I'm going to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I know you don't care. Will you explain what your Fit Passy is?
It's literally just for essentially like I post about my classes at the gym, about my schedule for the week, who's subbing for me. It's really nothing other than that. I post, like if I'm practicing a new size routine, I'll post that. And then very rarely do I put like a blanket challenge group post. But most of them are already coaches on my team or customers of mine because they've already gone that route. So it's really like a posse. It's like a fit posse. When I say let's go out for girls' night, those are the people that come out with me because all of my friends from here are pretty much from the gym or from Beachbody. That's it. So essentially that specific group is nothing other than sharing my adventures at the gym. If I'm going to be gone, who's subbing for me, if I'm subbing for someone else, and sharing new routines that I have. And then again, occasionally I will post about a challenge group or the coaching opportunity or like a free group that I'm running because we already have that established relationship. And a lot of them, if they're not already coaches of mine, I really want them to be coaches of mine because they're into fitness and I like them, or they wouldn't be in the posse. They don't get invited to the posse if I don't like them. You have to meet the cutoff to be joined in the posse. So, but even if you don't have that position where you're teaching classes at the gym, fit clubs are so underutilized, guys. All you need is a location that you can go, and it can be a freaking park with your little tiny laptop, and you can just stand in front and show them what they're doing on the DVD. You don't need a certification for that. And there's waivers that release all liability from you in the back office. And with the amazingness that's Beachbody On Demand, we have so much more opportunities now to showcase so many different programs that if you're not hosting a fit club, you are not tapping into what could be a huge market in your business. You're already going to work out, so why not put yourself in a position where you're doing it with other people so they can see what Beachbody has to offer. People you may know in Facebook, a big way that I have added friends on Facebook is by going to people like I went to high school with and clicking on their friends and then like mutual friends and then clicking on the button that says more and then people you may know. I'm like, oh yeah, I do know that person. Like, do know that person, add them. Yes, I do used to know that person for like half a second, like in 6th grade, send a friend request. I probably send at least 15 to 20 new friend requests every single day. And maybe 5 accept. It's rare that more than half of them accept because they're like, first of all, I don't have my maiden name on my profile and I don't look like I did in high school. I'm smaller now than I was in high school. So people don't know me or recognize me from my married name. So I think that's part of it. And I certainly was not like a fitness buff in high school or college. So they're like, who is this girl that has like fitness pictures on her profile? I clearly don't know her. And then I might comment or something and I'm like, oh, I do know you. So that people you may know. I also go into, I have an area moms group. One of the Facebook groups, interest groups that I'm a part of is called the Keller Area Rebels. And we're all the moms that were kicked out of a different Keller Area moms group because we broke the rules. And now the group has grown so big. There's like 3,000 of us just because we're like the cool group. And so I friend a lot of people from that because I'm not allowed to advertise in that site either. But I'm like, hey, I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old girl. Does anyone want to hang out with me? And if anyone likes it, I will add them as a friend. And not only am I maybe making some new friends, I'm making new friends for my kids, and I'm also adding people to my network. And social media, just between like page, personal page, friends of friends, just being able to the ability to share on Instagram and Snapchat. It's just definitely great ways to build your market. Okay, I'm gonna move on because we're gonna run out of time. Okay, so social media presence, nailing your social media presence. Being the jack of all trades, you will be the master of none. So I started off doing Facebook, and then I added a Facebook like page, and then oh, what happened? Oh, then I tried, what is going on? Then I tried adding in Instagram, and then I tried adding in Snapchat. And then I found I was like, ding, wait, hold on, girls. I have one more area I have to post this to. And then I'm trying to find new content for everything. And I'm like, my brain is spinning. And I was like, how do I manage all of this? And so I had to take a long, hard look and say, what is building my business? Snapchat's not building my business. The filters are really fun, but I haven't figured out how to convert anything on Snapchat into a business building activity. Although we do love our filters and make funny videos, it might get good traction on Facebook because that's where I do 99.9% of my business. They say don't stop what's working for you. My personal page works for me. I have 2,500 friends, constantly adding new ones, and that is where I build my network. And that is where I put a lot of my time. Now, going through this Jesse Reagan training, I can see the direction that I can take with that in order to build that cold market that I don't have. So I'm not ready to give up my personal page yet because it's working for me. And my like page isn't yet. So when the time comes, if the time comes for me to give up my personal page, if I start to max out on friends, you max out at 5,000, then I might be willing to give that up and move just to my like page. But for now, I know my social media niche, and that is my Facebook personal page. Find your life pillars. So I'm sure you guys have talked about this too, but finding those few things in your life that aren't just Beachbody to talk about and post about. For me, I love travel. I obviously love the gym and teaching at the gym. I am very big on being a parent, obviously. Relationships and advocating. This past year, just talking more about advocating for your health, because I had to fight for a lot of answers in my own health journey and with my issues that I went through last year. So really talking to women specifically on listening to your body and advocating for your health and standing up for what you firmly believe is going on with your body. So finding those pillars, those important things in your life that aren't just Beachbody, and speaking to those. Sticking to 5 or less. You don't want to be talking about everything because, again, when you're a jack of all trades, you're a master of none. Post so much people want to block you. I read 10 times rule, 10x rule. I don't know what they call it. 10x rule, 10 times rule. Grant Cardone. If you haven't read that, that was really, really good. And one thing that stuck out from that book was he was like, if people were getting pissed that I was posting 3 times, I was posting 25 because I wanted to post so much. I wanted them to drop me or block me because I was in their face. And then at first they hated it, and then they asked me how I was doing it, and then they asked me why I was doing it, and then they were like, I want to be a part of what you're doing. So I post no less, absolutely no less, even on my deathbed, sick as a dog, traveling the ocean, across seas on a cruise, hospital bed, no less than 3 times a day. If I'm posting less than 3 times a day, someone call me because I'm probably in a grave someplace. Because I really, truly believe that I need to be posting and putting myself out there at least 3 times a day. And even though my like page gets 0 traction or was getting 0 traction, I was religiously posting 3 times a day. Religiously. I'm 3.5 years, guys, I've been doing this. And I might get 0 likes on any post for like a week straight, and I'm still posting 3 times a day. Because I know eventually it's going to pay off. Do not be a Beachbody robot. Stop throwing up Beachbody. You'll notice that most of the top coaches don't even put Beachbody in any of their posts. Talking about what the products do for you, not selling the products. Beachbody doesn't need our promotion. They're a brand in itself. We do not need to promote Beachbody. We need to promote what we can do to help other people. That's what we're selling. We're selling ourselves. We're sharing what this has done for us, not Beachbody itself. Leave that to Carl Deichler and all the Beachbody corporate minions. We don't need to do that. Speak directly to your avatar. When I post, I think of someone I want on my team. I have probably, I'm not going to say just 5 or 6, but I mean 5 or 6 people who on my team who I can say, you are me. I am you. We are like the same person. Our thoughts are the same. And guess what? They're my top producers. They're the people that bring in 80% of my business. And when I make a post, I think, how do I get more Alexes on my team? How do I get more Tracys on my team? How do I get more Laurens on my team? How do I get more Danas on my team? Because that is what I want. Those are the people that they're go-getters. They're leaders. They're not afraid to put themselves out there. So when I'm speaking directly to them or to directly who I used to be when I'm looking for challengers. I was that overweight woman in the back of a group fitness class who left in the middle of class crying because I couldn't keep up. And now I'm training other people to be instructors. So that is who I'm speaking to. I'm speaking to that mom who sat on the couch watching The Bachelorette, downing pint of ice cream, 2 margaritas, and a bag of chips in one night, because that's literally where I was. Not able to move off of the couch because I had no energy and no desire to. So when I make a post, that is who I'm speaking to, because that is who I want to help in my life, because I see myself in that. And then I'm speaking to those coaches that I want to have, those go-getters that are sick of going to their damn job every single day and getting home in time to feed their kids dinner and put them to bed. That's who I'm speaking to. So when I'm making my post, every post that I make, I think I'm speaking to one of those people, and how would I receive that if I were on the other end of it? And the last is sharing the good, the bad, and the ugly. You will see on my post that I'm very rarely ever wearing makeup. If I am, it's probably a makeup app and not actually makeup I've put on. I share every damn time I fall off the wagon, and it's been a lot over the last 3.5 years. Every time I come back from a vacation and I've eaten way too much and I have the muffin top again, or the 30 days I did a quarter force, and I am so proud of myself because I stuck with the program for that first time in a really, 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 really long time, and I had great results with it. And the 9 months I spent in ERs and crying and hives from head to toe, I'm sharing it literally every step of the way, because we know that I'm posting 3 to 5 times a day, and I'm posting on the topics that I'm passionate about. So that's what I'm doing. And I want people to know that I'm just a hot mess mom. I'm just a hot mess mom that found something that worked for her for the very first time. And it allows me to stay home and raise my kids and not have to go to work at 6:30 every morning and come home at 6 o'clock every night and drive 45 minutes to teach my, please stop stepping on that, thank you. Drive 45 minutes each way to my inner city school teaching job that I love and was very rewarded with. But this, even though she drives me crazy, is why I do this. Because I don't want to miss her growing up. I don't want to put myself on the back burner to the point where I am so unhealthy, I'm not there to see them. Because that was the path that I was on. And I tried it all before, and I will not let myself go back to that. Mic drop, that's all I got. Hope no one else is crying. I see Jess crying. but that's probably just.
I'm always crying. No, because you just speak to my heart. I mean, it's like, I don't know, we're soul sisters, lady, because like you are the whole time like, like my neck is going to be sprained from just, yes, everything you're saying is yes, yes.
And you guys have, I mean, Jess is an incredible leader, and she's built such an incredible team. And I'm sure everything that I've said is not new. But like I said, when she came on to my team, just hearing it from a different perspective and hearing it from more than one person and seeing that it can be you too. We're no one special. We're moms that want more out of life. And by sharing that with other people, you're rewarded so much more than I ever thought possible.
Well said. I mean, dang girl. Mic drop. You've got this. I mean, this is amazing. It doesn't matter if we've heard some of this before. I needed to hear it again.
And I need to hear it every
Thank
day.
you. We all do, and I gained great tips, and I mean, just such a powerful call. So thank you. I saw one question in the chat box
I don't know how to stop screen sharing.
From Kayla. When you do a fit club, if you were to do a fit club, now I don't know if you do them, but would you just get together once a week? How would you go about that?
I don't hold them only because I'm at the gym and that's where I build my business. But I think once a week is awesome. Twice a week, even better. I think the more opportunities you can put yourself in front of people, the better. In different places with different people, maybe hosting a fit club with neighborhood moms, or, if you're military, the military moms. I have one coach who's a military spouse, and the military spouses do get-togethers like 4 times a week. So once a week they make it a fit club.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, anything that you could do, even if you did it once a month, getting yourself out in front of new faces and just establishing yourself as someone who is confident and willing to I'll tell you in a minute, honey, to build a business. Stop sharing. That's what I was looking for. I can see all your faces again. So just putting yourself out there and establishing yourself as someone who is confident and willing to give more than receive. I think that's received, and the return is much greater than you can give.
I agree. Great perspective. Any other questions you guys have for Alicia? Because I know we're at almost an hour, because I was a little late. We're right at an hour right now, but I mean, this was just an amazing call. But do you guys have any questions? I'm putting you on the spot. I didn't ask if you'd answer questions, but I know you well enough to know you don't care. Does anybody have questions?
Thank you guys for allowing me to come on and speak. Normally I'm asleep 2 hours ago, but now I'm all fired up. So.
Oh my gosh, we're just honored that you would take time out of your busy life, especially with an early morning wake up, and just to share your incredible tips with us. And your success is unreal. So I know that I speak for the team, and we're just really grateful that you were able to speak to us. And I know, guys, that Alicia would be open to, if you think of something that comes up, shoot her a message. She's like super approachable. So
I have to tell you guys, my team is called Motivating to Move, and we always say, you just gotta find 10 or 15 of you. You have to find 10 or 15 people that are just like you. We're like, if we could just find 10 or 15 Jess Kennedys and Team on the Run girls, we would be set. Because you guys, you really, I mean, I see your shout outs. Jess and I are in different groups with VIP groups and stuff like that, where we're able to see each other's shout outs, and y'all, you're killing it. I mean, obviously you have incredible leadership, but
thank you.
It's Alex and I were talking about you and your team today, and just how you have brought people on that are so much like you, with such a pure heart, and that obviously reflects down into your downline. And I think that's what makes a lasting successful coach in this business more than anything else is I pride my team on being a team that every single person there, I can say they're not out there to make millions. They're capable of it, but they're there because they truly, honestly care about helping other people. And if you're not in it for that, you might have short-term success, but you'll never make it lasting success because your heart isn't in the right place. So guys, I hope you'll reach out to me and ask any questions or anything like that. Again, thank you for allowing me to get on my call. I need to put her to bed because she needs to get up for a field trip.
And you need to get to bed too, but thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. This was awesome.
Thank you so much. Don't push anything. Hit cancel.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
It's late. I didn't do it. You did it. Oh my God. Okay.